Everybody, Scoutcrafter here again. Just finished up a project that I started on, I guess it was Sunday. It took a week to do this project. And, I always tell everybody that for restoring tools, if you can do one a month, in a couple years, you'll have a nice collection of tools. And time goes so fast. I mean, before you wink, 2 years goes by. And I feel the same way about making tools. I try and make a few tools a year. And when I look back, those are some of my most cherished possessions. So after doing the screwdriver last week, I said, maybe it's time for another one. So this is where today's project is going. Okay, today's project, we have a piece of 6061 aluminum, just a small piece, about 5 inches, a little over 4 inches. And we have a piece of tubing. This is a steel tubing I took off of an old lamp that I saw. A piece of all thread, that's a 3/8 by 16 thread, and a piece of, this is steel. It's just regular carbon cold rolled steel, and that's about 1 inch, and I needed this for a little bit of weight. Let's make something on the lathe. Okay, believe it or not, this is a few hours of work. Nothing goes easy or quick when you're on the lathe. You see we counterbored this, threaded it here, threaded it back here, and this is the rod that's going to be passing through. And this will cover it, and you can see it's a nice fit over here. And that'll cover that, give it a lot of strength for this. And this is the hammerhead. This is what gives it weight. I didn't know it was so hard, but threaded, drilled, threaded, tapped, both ends. This is a hole that's going to have a brass pin holding the threaded rod so it don't spin or it can't come out. And I've been working for a while. I'm going to go to bed and hit it tomorrow. Okay, this is Delrin. We're going to make the soft face hammerheads out of this. A high density plastic, really good space shade stuff. And we're going to have to change out the jaws because we can't fit in here. It's too wide. So we'll do that and start machining this down. Now what's interesting is just to reduce this from here to here, look how much chips that resulted in. You know, that's a lot of chips, you know, so it's always interesting when you're doing plastic. It's a lot of fun. Okay, here's where the fun begins. Now you can see we pinned the shaft in there. That's epoxied in and pinned. That can't go anywhere. The tube slips over like that. There's a counter bore in there, so that fits in there nice and tight. And then the same thing here. There's a counter bore in there. There's about 1 inch of threads. This slides on really nice. I mean, and then when it tightens up, it'll tighten up against the outside pipe, which makes it even more strong. We're going to epoxy everything in here. I'm just showing you. The final assembly is always fun. And then obviously, you know, the caps go on here. These are aluminum. We're going to make some more caps, but you can see they go on here and fit nice. Now you remember what this project looked like before we started. And we're calling this project done. And I had to throw this box together because, you know, as you could see what it is, there it is finished. And the reason I had to throw the box together is because you know as well as I do that these tips will all get lost if you try and put them somewhere. So here's a nice way. I was going to get threaded inserts, but they didn't have any at Home Depot, and the only ones I have are 1/4 by 20, it figures. So I made poor man threaded inserts by just pressing in some regular 3/8 by 16 nuts into an epoxied hole. So they're epoxied in, so it's the same way. Let me show you about the now the hammer fits nicely in the box, and it rests in 2 Delrin blocks that I just cut out, and it just makes it that much easier for the hammer to be stored. Now the reason I call this hammer the circus hammer is because during the week when I was telling my girlfriend about the hammer and what it does, she says, oh, it's like a circus hammer. I guess it does a lot of tricks. So I like the name, and that's where it's stuck. So let me show you a few features about the hammer. First of all, this is a hardened steel head here, and it's got just a perfect balance of weight. It weighs, the whole hammer weighs in, it's just about 1 pound, but it's just a beautiful weighted, balanced hammer. And as you can see, we can switch out. These are soft. These are Delrin tips, and we have different styles of tips we can use. We have regular, you know, this is white Delrin, as you can see. If you don't want to scuff it with the black, these are, and listen to this. It's a very high durometer, as it's called, so they're very strong. Here's a curved Delrin tip. That's good for areas that you might want. Here's a larger curved Delrin tip in black. You know, sometimes you want a curved tip. And here is a flattening head that you could use. It's a little wider. And of course we have some aluminum heads, and I also have, I'm going to be making brass and steel heads. But what's so interesting about this hammer is, besides the weight and the feel and the balance it has, again, I did it from my own hand, and it just feels so nice. That little curve in there, and obviously the knurling and the colors in there, and in the top, and back here the end cap spins off. Now you could put another tip there. You could put, if you wanted to carry a different tip on a job that you didn't want to have to come back, you could put a tip on, you know, one of the tips that you might come in handy. And inside the handle, I did a little punch, little brass punch, knurled, and it has a replaceable tip. This is a hardened tip, and listen to this. You could see it's a suction fit. So when you put that tip in here like this and give it a turn, it can't come out on its own. You have to pull it out. So that's pretty interesting, and that's in closing. We have our nice little circus hammer. Again, it was pinned in here so that it can't come out. It's all epoxied, and it's a solid hammer now, and it's ready for service. Hope you enjoyed this project. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.